16.5 is 14.5. Exciting times. Hopefully you guys got to see the announcement show. I got a couple little interesting points on the data analysis in there. We're going to go through the manual as usual. And if we start with the workout announcement analysis overview, what I thought was very interesting is that Ben and Rich actually had exactly the same time for their burpee and for their thruster. So they spent exactly the same time on those, yet they finished at different times. What made the difference? It was the transitions, of course. So transitions is one opportunity in this workout. Interestingly, the thrusters for Matt was slower than for Rich and Ben, but his burpees were significantly faster. So your opportunity number one is to keep a pace on the burpees. Opportunity number two is to minimize their transitions. If you can do both, everything is possible. The thrusters matter, but you need to do them so that you can pace the burpees and keep a steady pace throughout, minimize the transition time. Now, there is more information there. If you want to go and look at things like the rep cadence, etc., you can find the full analysis on the Training Plan Facebook group, and it's also a link from our manual in there. Now, let's talk about the strategy in here. So really, this workout comes down to knowing yourself, being ready to push the pace at the same time. So yes, you will have to pace this. You cannot go too hot off the gates. But yes, also you have to push in the end. You kind of have to be ready to dive for those points if you really want to have a great time on this one. Setting micro goals for yourself is really going to be key in here. One more rep, pick up the bar. Very important to find a way to do the next rep and focus on that next rep throughout the whole workout. Breathing. If you stop breathing, it's too long a time. You have to breathe in through that, breathe through each one of the repetitions. And then finally, staying in control, especially early on, so that you stay conscious of what you're doing and you don't end up redlining too early in the workout and then suffer afterwards. So if we look at the pacing overview, and the round of 21, recommend that you start calm and composed, find a good steady pace, but don't rush it. Then the middle rounds, the 18, 15, and 12, this is where you try to maintain your pace. You might need to ease off just a little bit. It might happen. Don't think about it consciously. Try to just push a steady pace. And then the 9, 6, and 3, the last rounds, you have to go. Most of you will want to go at the round of 6. That is too late. You want to start pushing at the round of 9. Take some chances and be brave. That is where you can make a lot of money. The round of 9 is that culmination points where if you go fast, you can get a better time. If you go too slow, you're going to regret it later. Let's talk about movement by movement, breakdowns. Thruster, of course you want to go unbroken, but you want to maintain awareness of where you are and how your conditioning is. If you start to feel like you're slowing down significantly, you might need to take a little break. And there's a couple of different breakdown strategies. I recommend personally that you try to go unbroken on that first set if that's possible for you. You are fresh, you got good breathing, focusing on moving well, you will be able to get through this. If you need to, break it to 15 plus 6. The second round is probably where a lot of people will benefit from breaking if you cannot go unbroken. Maybe also the round of 15. So 18 and 15, breaking there might be beneficial, 2 or 3 sets. Then when it gets to round of 12, ideally you push through that, and in 9, 6, and 3 there is no breaking these sets. Make it happen. Do what it takes. Focus on that one rep at a time. Just one good rep after rep after rep, and you will get through these thrusters. On the bar facing burpee, this is really where you make your money. So the thruster kind of sets the scene. You need to find a pace that allows you to push through the burpees. The burpees is where you either make time or you lose time. So make sure that you find a steady, consistent pace for yourself. Practice this in the warm-ups. Try different cadences, time few repetitions of burpee, find a sustainable pace, and then set some times for yourself in the workout that you want to meet in the burpees. Have someone maybe help you to push you, to keep you to that cadence, to keep you that beat, so that you can keep maintaining the pace that you need to maintain to get the best time for yourself. Small micro goals, very important. Just focusing on that one rep at a time. Just get down, get back up, jump over that bar, take that breath, and keep moving. This really comes down to your capacity to put in the work and find the pace. Now, on the thruster, couple notes, things that will help you. Make sure that you keep breathing. Top of the rep is a good place to breathe. You can see both Rich and Matt using this technique very efficiently. Good bar path is a straight bar path. That counts a lot for your efficiency. Keep your balance. Avoid leaning forward. stay balanced through the whole foot with an upright trunk. The more upright your trunk is, the more efficient the bar path is going to be, the easier it's going to be to stay balanced. And make sure that your hips are doing the work. So hips drive the movement, the arms follow at the top. You want to save your arms for the burpees. Now, things to consider. If your stance is wider, your range of motion is a little bit less, that might help, but it might make you lean forward excessively. So that might cost you too much. So try to find just a good, comfortable stance for you that you normally use that maximize your capacity to stay balanced and upright. Keep the bar path straight, and that includes that rack position. So making sure the rack position is kind of as high up as you can comfortably get to. The elbow height should be adjusted to your specific needs, same as with the grip width. Whatever you can handle. The wider grip is going to be costly, but you might need it for the good lockout. Normal clean grip is probably where you want to be, and then find a good elbow height for yourself. A lot of this comes down to how can I stay comfortable with the uncomfortable. The thrusters, the whole workout is going to suck, so you want to find the form and the technique that allows you to get through the work in as relaxed a way as possible. Minimum effort for each repetition. That's what we're looking for. Now, on the burpees, step up. For a lot of people, it's going to be faster than jump up because you end up so far away from the bar that the big jump over the bar is going to cost you too much. We saw Matt Fraser do this really well though. He had the long jump from far away from the bar and he got a great time, but you saw even Rich stepping up the burpee, and that can be very, very efficient strategy. Again, play around, find the best form for yourself. Think about that cadence. So Matt Fraser took about exactly 3.25 seconds per burpee on average over the workout. Rich Froning was 3.84. Ben Smith was 3.56. The difference between the Rich and Ben was because Ben had some really fast rounds and then some slower rounds, whereas Rich was more consistent. So the average per rep looks different, even though the actual time was exactly the same. So that's an interesting difference in the strategy. Consistent, steady pace, or a little bit faster spurts with maybe a little bit more rest elsewhere. So your call. I recommend you find the cadence, find the beat that you can stick with, and then stick with it on the burpee no matter what. Couple quick words on the warm-up. Very important to get your heart rate high and be very sweaty before you go after this. Get that aerobic engine going. So as usual, I recommend you do some breathing work before you get into it. Then you're going to spend some significant time on the salt bike or maybe a little bit on the rower. 7-12 minutes, get your heart rate up progressively, get your body hot and sweaty. Do a couple intervals, 10 seconds on, 30 seconds off, until you feel like you've touched that high heart rate and your systems are ready to go. Hit the movement prep flow that we've put together. We're actually going to probably make this week's one public so you guys get to see it. And do any additional mobility work that you need to. Then get ready for the thruster. I would work a little bit on my efficiency there. Do some front squats, do some push presses, tie them together, focusing on the timing on the way up and then focusing on the timing on the way down. Find my maximum efficiency, my best stance, my most upright trunk, and most efficient bar path. Once I have that, make sure you work on the burpee, practice, decide how you're going to do it. Are you going to step up? Are you going to jump up and snap up? Are you going to transition? Make sure you are clear on that. And then just do a few rounds as an EMOM, 4 reps of each, 4 thrusters, 4 burpees. Find the best strategy, find the place where you can breathe, see how those movements affect you, minimize transitions, etc. Find the best strategy for you. Make sure you have a plan ready. Make sure your heart rate is elevated. Make sure you're hot and sweaty. And then take a deep breath and get ready to suffer for hopefully not too long. I hope this is a under 15-minute piece at least for you. So once again, to summarize, this workout will come down to your capacity to maintain pace on the burpees. Use the thrusters as a tool to find the right pace for the burpees, whether that's unbroken sets or broken sets on the thruster. Make sure that you'll be ready when that bar drops down to drop down for that first burpee and then never let go. Maintain that same pace throughout. Good luck, guys.